This a little story time for y'all, man, on how my homie wanted my girl, man. And what's crazy? She really wasn't my girl, but at the same time, like I had a little crush on her. You know what I'm saying? At the job, and this is why, like, to this day, like I don't mix my business where I lay at. You know what I'm saying? Because it can get messy. It can get messy. You know what I'm saying? But this story didn't get too messy though. But it was more like a learning lesson for me. You know what I'm saying? And let me just jump into the story. So boom, right? I'm working at a grocery store. I ain't gonna say the grocery store. And I've been working at this. I was at this grocery store for maybe about 3 to 4 years. And I remember, you know, first and foremost, the female that I had a crush on, she's working my last job. And even back then, I noticed her, and I was just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Little petite, little brown skin, you know. She had them little poetic justice braids, you know what I'm saying? Little short, petite looking, black chick, little caramel skin joint, you know what I'm saying? Just naturally pretty though, She didn't really have no, you know what I'm saying, no big badonk or no big, you feel me? Just overall, she was evenly built, you feel me? I always thought she was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had, call me a simp, I don't care. Like, it is what it is, Ain't nothing wrong with saying you found a female beautiful. Nowadays, you a simp for saying shit like that. It's crazy. But for me personally, like I say, I thought she was very attractive. I always had a little crush on her. Really didn't make a move with her when I first, worked with her at my last job. But I always noticed her. We crossed paths a few times and talked a little bit, but nothing crazy. So mind you, I go to my next job. I didn't forgot about her and shit, right? Been working there for about a year or two, going on year three. And around year three, I believe that's when she got hired. I ain't gonna say her name. We gonna call the girl though. We gonna call her Kay. Right? So Kay from my last job that I had a crush on resurfaces back at my new job 3 years later. Well, I was at the job for 3 years when I saw her, when I started realizing she got hired there. So I remember seeing her there in the front. I'm in the other department. We got a clear shot at the front. And I remember one day I was just like, hold up, ain't that what's her name? I'm like, there go Kay. There Kay. I'm already like, man, it's been some years. I didn't, what I'm saying? Times have changed. Like I ain't no overly nervous nigga no more. Like I'm kind of bold a little bit during this period. Now, I ain't gonna sit up here and say I had all the motion in the world, but I damn sure had a full set. And I wasn't scared to walk up to a female and, shoot my shot. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get to that point yet of even trying to initiate myself to talking to her until later on. But before I go deep into that part of how that kind of went down, I met a homie at the job. We gonna call him O. And me and O, what's crazy about O? He was new at the job too. O worked up there with K. So O and K kind of got a head start on getting to know each other a little bit more versus me kind of getting to know K. So while her and O working in the front, I don't know O at this time. I see him around, but we don't really talk like that. Mind you, at work, I'm a little introverted, but I talk to who I talk to in my department. You know what I'm saying? Because I work around them every single day. So you grow a little comfortable with who you work with. So you start, you know what I'm saying? You talk to who you work with, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's passing time, you know what I'm saying? But since he worked in a different department, I ain't got no ties to even get to know this nigga. So fast forward, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing her a lot, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at her and shit. I don't know if she see me, whoop de whoop. And I remember one day she came up to my department and she was asking for like some food out the little, whoop de bam. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, this is the first time we done really kind of got in the same, vicinity. You know what I'm saying? Truly, she probably didn't remember me like that for real because we didn't have no strong bonds prior. I didn't really know her like that prior, but at the same time, pretty sure she remembered my face, you know what I'm saying? And I remember she was just hella cool, you know what I'm saying? Real chill, hella pretty in the face, little short, petite, brown skin, like I say. So I'm feeling her, she feeling the vibe. I don't even know to this day if she really had a little thing for me. because I just couldn't really read it if she was just being nice or not. You know, some girls are just nice, you know what I'm saying? They'll talk to you, but they ain't really trying to go there with you. They ain't really on that, but you never know. So I'm playing it safe, I'm small talking with her, giving her food or whatever like that. Real cool, nothing extra. So that was my really first time like getting like seeing her face to face for real, you know what I'm saying? And fast forward a little bit, I'm starting to see a lot more around my department. You know what I'm saying? And then, we have like an ice machine and a water thing near my department. So a lot of people come to our department to get water and ice and shit. You know what I'm saying? So one time, you know what I'm saying, I'm seeing him. A lot of people used to go over there. I'm seeing him over there too, but I ain't really, I ain't talking to bro. I don't care to talk to bro. So one day we just ended up just randomly chopping it up. I don't even know how it kind of got started. It was so long ago, but I know at first it kind of felt like bro was kind of not really trying to fuck with me. It looked like he may have had maybe an opinion about me. You know how you people got an opinion about you based off of whatever. Maybe, I don't know. You can tell he was a little kind of like not even trying to like, you know, integrate any kind of rapport. You feel me? And I don't even know how it happened where we did kind of start chopping it up and kind of getting cool, but we got cool. He started to really kind of, we started to talk a little bit, and and after a while we got real cool, and I can confidently say at that time we was homies. You know what I'm saying? So we becoming real close at work a little bit as homies. We talking at work and shit. We ain't really done it. We ain't hung out outside of work yet. So a lot of stuff is like just at the job. We talking a lot at the job. I do music. So at the time, I'm rapping and he's trying to start rapping. Mind you, he's not really a rapper, but he's curious because he know I rap and he's heard a lot of my songs and he's like, I want to start rapping. So this is where it led to us linking up outside of work, where we started to link up. Where after work, I'll sit in his car. We'll be freestyling. We'll be rapping. I'll play some of my music that I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? We was just vibing on that tip. Music was like our common ground on how we kind of was like relatable. In that aspect. And then not even just music, but just for a young dude, he was younger than me too, by like 2-3 years. For a young dude, I had to be like 21 at the time. He was definitely like 18, 19. I was 21 at the time. So we were super young, right? But for a young dude around his age, he was very intelligent. He was, you can tell he's still wet behind the ears with life a little bit, like I was too, but my ears weren't as wet behind the ears as his. If you feel what I'm saying? I kind of knew a little bit, but still I can tell he was a smart dude, black dude, you know what I'm saying? Young black man, you know what I'm saying? So we vibing, we getting to know each other, real cool dude. And usually at work, I ain't really got no friends. I got people that I talk to, but we ain't friends though. He was the first person at my job that I really considered like a friend. So time progresses, we getting cool, we locked in, we talking music. Certain people in the front starting to messing with me, we starting to got a little clique kind of forming at work a little bit. Everybody kind of like doing the music thing a little bit, and so we got cool. Fast forward, we started talking about, the job and how certain motherfuckers be acting weird and how certain motherfuckers we don't like. And it kind of gets to the topic of talking about Kay. Now, mind you, I'm overly expressing to him at this time that I got a huge crush on Kay. Like, bro, I'm thinking, bro, she bad. Like, I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to knock her down. Like, I'm telling him this. And he's like the same shit. He's kind of like the same thing. He like, yeah, she is bad. I ain't gonna lie. She one of them kind of girls, He worked with her though. He worked with her in the front. And around this time, I'm thinking to myself, I'm the only one that got a thing for her. You know what I'm saying? And of course, if you somebody that's grown, you understand, like, if y'all both kind of think the same thing about a female, why you think y'all both ain't trying to get at her, But at the time, I'm just thinking I'm trying to get at her. But what kind of pieced that puzzle together was when he was telling me about when he first started working there. He was telling me from his perspective, and from what he told me, he was telling me that Kay, when he first got hired, she was eyeing him down, all looking at him and stuff. And then, boom, they working in the aisle. And then she just asked for his number and they started to vibe. And, he pretty much was telling me that she was feeling him. And he pretty much told me too, like, um, they was linking outside of work, smoking little roaches out on their breaks and stuff like that. So I guess him and her had a little cool little friendship or whatever the hell they had going on. Now, I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. At the time, I was a little jealous. I was a little jealous because I'm like, damn, this nigga doing what I want to do with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get her number. I'm trying to smoke a roach with her. I'm trying to crack them cheeks. I'm trying to break that back. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, damn, like we back and forth talking about her and shit. Wooty bam. Once he told me how they linked up outside of work and she was like linking with him and shit, I'm like, damn, you ain't do nothing. He's like, bro, I'm pretty sure he was a virgin at the time too. So he ain't had no experience with what to do. But it looked like how he was describing it, she was kind of laying the foundation and shit. Like he told me she was linking up with him. And before she was going to link up with him, she's going to take a shower. And then when she finished her shower, she's going to link up with him. Like any nigga know, if a bitch taking a shower, if she's about to link up with you, she trying to get cracked. Most of the time, she ain't taking no shower just to be clean, to go outside and come back in the house. She trying to make sure she on point if it go there. You feel me? And if she telling you that on top of that, come on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm older now, so I look back and I'm realizing that shit. But at the time, it's like, maybe she just wanted to take a shower. Maybe it was hot that day. You know what I'm saying? I'm wet behind the ears more than I think I am at the time. So boom. Fast forward a little bit, that's going on. One day, it's late. It's about to close. I'm still in my department cleaning up, getting the place ready to close down. So is the front, right? I think O went home. K up there though. So mind you, I'm dumping the garbage. I'm going to the back, right? I ain't really thinking about, making no move today. But who do I see when I'm going down one of the aisles? I see K in the alcohol aisle. No, I take that back. She was in the chip aisle. And I was going to the back to dump the garbage. Now, mind you, my balls is heavy. I'm not scared to go up and talk to a girl if I feel like I want to talk to her. So when I saw her in that chip aisle, initially I kind of just went past her. But I passed the bathroom. So what I did was I put the garbage bin near like the stairs in the back. I went to the bathroom. And I'm in the bathroom, getting myself together, making sure I'm on point, right? The best that I could, right? I'm in work clothes, ain't nothing spiffy, but I'm trying to make sure I'm on point. Ain't got no crust in my eyes, ain't got no fucking dry spit on my lips. Making sure my nose ain't got no boogers falling out of it. I'm making sure I'm on point. Because at this point, I'm like, bro, this is my chance to shoot my shot. She right here by herself in this aisle. Ain't nobody around. It's just her. K is right there. So I come out the bathroom, chest beating. Got a semi-stiffy. No, I was playing. I wasn't that damn horny. But I was ready to clap some cheeks if it went down. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't about to decline no buns. So I walk over there, and I guess she dropped something. And I kind of played off of that. She didn't drop it when she saw me, but she dropped it with her back turned to me. And I kind of came behind her and was like, damn, why you drop that? You know what I'm saying? I'm just fucking with her. And she like, oh, woo, 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 woo. So we talking a little bit, she like, woo, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, woo, woo. I'm small talking with her. I don't remember exactly what I was talking about, what she was talking about, but in that moment we was having a little dialogue, you know what I'm saying? And it was cool. It wasn't hella awkward. It wasn't hella weird. It was cool. So boom, we walk into the back. I'm dumping the garbage. She dumping some garbage too, I guess. And we just kind of talking, small talking and shit. It's going kind of smooth. I don't really know what I'm trying to do at this point. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to get her number. I don't know if I'm trying to crack her behind. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just knowing that I'm talking to her. And that's what I wanted to do. So we walk into the front where she work at. And, I'm over there at the time clock talking to her a little bit. And, I'm just playing with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she played bumping me a little bit. Like, I don't know. I was just a nigga that was trying to shoot my shot. You can't blame me, man. That's what you supposed to do. So I really felt like that really established a respect with her, though, looking back, because I don't even know if she even liked me or not. Looking back from my judgment, I think she respected the fact that you approached her and initiated dialogues. I used to always see her. She used to always be very cordial and say, hey, she was very cordial and shit. But I just never really made a move or said nothing to show her that I had a strong interest in her. You know what I'm saying? So that day I approached her and kind of started that dialogue with her. I feel like she gained the level of respect that I had enough balls to do that. You know what I'm saying? And after that situation, she would always come to my department and, say what's up to me, ask for some food, small talk. When she used to go on her breaks, I used to try to time it where I used to go on break at the same time she would go on, so I can kind of sit down and kind of talk to her. And she would tell me, it was one point where we was on break together. Well, we was on break at the same time. And I remember one time we was just talking and she was telling me she was in school, and I think she was in like nursing school or some shit. And she was telling me about some shit that she was doing at her, small talk. And I'm just vibing with her, trying to trying to create that vibe. Like, yeah, you feel me? Yeah, I'm really trying to get on you. Like, what it is. Like, I'm trying to feel her out, see if it's like what's to her. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my boy, I ain't gonna say his name either. I'm just gonna call him Neek Neek. I'm all these weird ass names, I know, but I don't want to put nobody's name for real, because I don't know who gonna watch this shit. Probably nobody, but and whatever. So I'm gonna call him Neek Neek. So me and Neek Neek kind of cool in my department. We ain't overly friends, but we cool. We cordial enough to talk about stuff at the job every single day. We coolin'. So he see me talking to her, and I'm always talking to him about her. Like, when she come to work, I'm always asking him, is she here? You see her today? He's always giving me the inside scoop on if he saw her today, whoop de whoop. So I remember one time I was talking to her, like I said, on my break, and he was like, yeah, I was over there whoop whoop with her, and I walked up, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, you think she liking me? You think she fucking with me? What you think, man? I don't know. I can't really get a feel for her. And he was like, bro, based on what I was seeing, he was like, bro, I think she got a soft spot for you. He said, I'm saying like a soft spot. I'm like, oh man, I'm in there. Right? But it's, to kind of sum it up, it's really funny. Like, that really didn't go nowhere. I never got her number. I never cracked. And she ended up leaving the job. And it was funny. I saw her after she got fired, or either she left, and it was so different. She was so different. Like, and her energy was so different. She looked depleted. I don't know what happened to her outside of that period of time. Like, I saw her maybe like a year later at my job, just as a regular customer. And she just was giving me very like different, I don't know, different vibes. Like, not directly, but just watching her like from a distance. I saw her at a different aisle, and I'm just looking at her just casually, and she looked like she's just a different person, on an energy level. Like, it wasn't that energy that I was liking, that I felt like I really was like, man, it was weird. Just like she changed a lot just on an energetic level. I don't know how to describe it. And yeah, it never went nowhere with her, but the story really is really kind of pointing to, what I'm trying to point to is that my homie truly may have just been saying a lot of stuff about how she was feeling with him and how she was giving him her number, basically trying to like low key, like, hey man, like, she fucking with me. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I know you liking her too, but nigga, like, she talking to me like she like me. I look back and I'm pretty sure he was probably just like trying to give me the impression that like she fucking with me. He wanted her. I wanted her and he wanted her. And at the time, I'm thinking we both just talking about it, but he probably in the back of his head like, this nigga trying to get my bitch. Like, nah, nigga, like, I gotta say something to this nigga to make him feel like she ain't really fucking with him. So I'm gonna tell him that she was eyeing me down and she gave me a number and we linked up after work, and she was at the house showering and talking about she about to dry off, come pick me up. I'm just like, damn, she doing all this with you outside of work? Man, I ain't even got the bitch number yet. Like, shit. But when I say my homie tried to take my girl, he really didn't take my girl. I wanted her to be my girl. But I feel like at the end of the day, bro was low-key cock blocking her a little bit. Not really directly, but indirectly, by just kind of putting it in the air of like, she fucking with me. And what I learned from that is, just because you think she look good, don't mean other niggas don't think she look good. Like, just because, if you think 9 times out of 10, if you think she fine, a lot of niggas think she fine. And you competing with those niggas. You competing for them. You competing. They all want to hit them buns. You ain't the only nigga that want to hit them buns. A lot of niggas want to hit them buns. So I learned from that, man, if you got a thing for a female, keep that to yourself. Unless you going to make a move and really stand on shit when you get your chance to say what you going to say to her. Now at the age I'm at, I'm not chasing no female. I don't do all that cold approaching like how I did when I was younger. Not saying I'm better than the next man that do, but I'm in a different place in my life now where it's like, if you not fitting in the puzzle I'm building right now, I ain't really interested. I don't care how fat it is back there. I don't care how pretty your face card is or how much your titties is popping out your turtleneck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not fit into this puzzle in my life right now, I ain't even tripping for real. You know what I'm saying? But I learned through that is like, when I do get in that situation again, I know to keep it to myself. Because you don't want to get clouded with these thoughts of maybe somebody else already got her, when in reality they don't. They just trying to stop you from getting her by just throwing all these roadblocks in your mindset of thinking you got a chance or you got an opportunity to go get her. You know, every nigga that is like you is trying to get the girl you like. It's competition. That was still my boy. We fell out too after a while. It wasn't even because of that, but you know, it's funny how life worked with certain people, man. You know, whatever reason, we just stopped really talking. You know, he hit me up like 2-3 years later and shit. We kind of, you know, briefly talked. But I once somebody kind of gives me the feeling they cut me off, I be cutting you off for life. Cause I ain't got time for that. Cause I don't do nothing that had that kind of energy put towards me. So like, I low key be over it with motherfuckers when they kind of start acting funny at the end and shit. It's love, it's no hate, but I don't do redos with friends and shit like that. Like if it was real, if it was real homies, we would still be homies to this day. You feel me? Unless a nigga did some grimy shit, which that ain't in my character. And people that I call friends, a lot of times that's not in their character. But you just never know. You never know a motherfucker until you get around them for real. So, you know, maybe I just didn't know him enough to know that. But it's water under the bridge now. But, you know, that just taught me a lesson, man. You know, females come and go. And in looking back, I don't think she really did like me like that. Because if she did, I would have had her number. And if she did, I probably would have cracked. All the things that I did, if I was her type, if I was the one nigga that did it for her, I would have got her number and we would have linked up and I would have eventually cracked. All that I was doing was just showing me she was just enjoying the attention. She was just enjoying the fact that she was getting attention. She probably had a respect for me that I had enough kahunas to say something to her and try to build that rapport. But you know how females is, you know, they'll take some free attention. Shit, fuck it. Cool. She probably had a... It's funny too, because O was telling me that she had a boyfriend and everything. And he was telling me about how she used to cheat. Or she would cheat, pretty much. That's what he was telling me, that she the kind of girl that would cheat on a nigga, which is kind of like interesting. He would want to throw that at me for whatever reason. Like, what you trying to tell me that for? Why you want me to think of her in that light? You know what I'm saying? Again, trying to distract me from trying to even pursue her. So, but at the same time, I look at it like a learning lesson, man. I learned a lot from that, man. And ain't no hard feelings towards any of them. I don't know where they at in this world at this point. I hope she doing good in life. I hope he doing good in life. But yeah. Just realize that you know, if you a man, you got a female, you got your eye on, man, just make the move and be direct and say what you want to do with that female in the most smoothest way possible and see how she react. And if she going, then you know what's up. But if she kind of giving you the run around and we'll see and all that, cut your losses. Move on to the next one, you know? Waste of time. She gonna string you along. She gonna hang it over your head, that kunani over your head like you got a shot or a chance. You better off just moving on to the next one. Chuck the deuce on, man. That's it for the video, man. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope it was entertaining. I was a young buck and you know, learned a lot during that time period. It was a fun time at the same time, you know. Wow, that was a long time ago. But yeah, for sure. I'm out. Peace.